village in Satara district in my home state of Maharashtra in India, 15-year-old girls travel long distances every day to attend high school. Due to the infrequent bus schedule, they must travel with 20 others from their community in an 8-seater jeep and pay a steep price for a ticket. Their journey is extremely stressful because they are squeezed within a small vehicle, and all too often, men riding in the jeep grope and touch them. A numerous number of them silently drop out of school by the end of the school year because they find it difficult to tell their parents about the violation of these men on their commute. Many of them believe these incidents happen because it is their fault, and if they speak up, their and their family's honor will be sullied. So this leads them to give up on their dreams, hopes, and aspirations, and they stay silent in order to keep their family honor intact and meet with the societal expectations around them. These stories are not isolated ones. I'm a co-founder of Safe City, and in our work over the last 9 years, we have unfortunately found this kind of experience to be the norm for girls and women rather than the exception. Globally, 1 in 3 women around the world experience some form of sexual harassment and violence at least once in their lifetime. And locally, 90% of the women and girls who we have spoken with have said they have experienced sexual harassment in transport, on the streets, in public spaces near their homes and schools or places of work. But most of the women and girls have been socially conditioned to stay silent and not report these incidents to the police or any official authority for fear of not being believed or fear of retaliation from the perpetrator and the society that they live in. 9 years ago, I decided to try to change that. Along with some friends, I launched Safe City, an anonymous online reporting platform for sexual and gender-based violence. The stories are collated as location-based trends and visualized on a map, making it easier to understand the nature and context in which these incidents occur. We have received thousands of stories shared by women, girls, and some men on their personal experiences of non-verbal, verbal, and physical harassment. Reporting and documenting these stories has been an essential step in making women and girls confident to break their silence and start their healing journey. Initially, our idea was to bridge the data gap that exists because of the underreporting of incidents and make the issue more visible. But as time progressed and the stories increased, we decided to do more. We owed it to every woman and girl to create safe spaces, and we also knew it was not her responsibility alone to take action. So we turned to the community and to men and boys. They needed to step up and be part of the ecosystem of support. Through awareness workshops and advocacy campaigns, we educated community members on understanding harmful gender norms and stereotypes, the spectrum of abuse, the laws in the country on sexual harassment, and the patterns and trends emerging from the Safe City data. We invited them to take action as we believe it was their responsibility to make the change happen. Take, for example, Mohan in Sanjay Camp, New Delhi. He and his friends placed a couch outside a public toilet which was frequented by the women and girls in the neighborhood. It was the only toilet they had access to. The toilet itself was badly maintained. It had no doors or windows and poor lighting. And the boys hung around on the couch, cracked jokes when the girls entered the toilet complex, and even took pictures and videos of them without consent. This made the girls feel extremely nervous, and many of them tried to limit their water intake just so they did not have to use the toilet often. When these incidents showed up in our data set, we invited the girls to a meeting and shared the insights with them. We asked them what they would like to do and how they would like to address it. They gathered their courage and as a group invited the young men to a meeting. Mohan was one of them. After seeing the data and hearing the stories of how the girls felt, he realized the impact of his behavior. he decided to join the campaign on safe neighborhoods with the girls, became a peer educator, and convinced his friends to move the couch from the toilet complex. Now the girls could use the toilet in peace because he went from being a perpetrator to an ally. Mohan is not alone. We have many examples where, after being invited to dialogue on the issue, view the patterns and trends in the data, and witness the pain that women and girls face, many men and boys have become allies. In another city, Pune, we worked with the community and local NGOs in Kasewadi. On seeing the data trends of the local incidents of harassment, the community as a collective felt they needed to advocate for better services and facilities to make their area safer while also creating awareness for behavior change. They petitioned their local councillor for improved public toilets, functioning street lights, safe access to the community centre, and increased police patrolling in certain areas. Armed with evidence-based data of incidents and the power of the community, their demands were met. Better infrastructure often reduces the perception of the lack of safety and encourages more women and girls to be out in public spaces for a longer period of time. And this further results in their confidence in accessing public spaces. Successful interactions with elected councillors or police or authority figures gives confidence to reclaim one's agency and challenge existing social norms. Sharing data with the community is central to our work, and using a communicative methodological approach, we have worked with communities to co-create contextual community knowledge about instances and locations of sexual and gender-based violence. By sharing stories, experiences, and strategies, it allows women and girls to fight patriarchal oppression and find alternative ways to behave and relate with each other. Our model allows for multi-stakeholder dialogue and facilitated interventions to create a new narrative and influence preferences for various models of masculinity. It also elevates women and girls' voices and creates space for action to encourage creative suggestions for community strategies. Through our interventions, girls are returning to school, staying out in public spaces later at night, traveling further from their homes for education or work, and feeling more confident in the knowledge that their community has their back. The girls in Satara, after attending our programs and participating in a safe neighborhood campaign, decided that they wanted to go back to school. They also realized they were not alone in their experience. So they shared their stories with their parents and demanded a private jeep to transport them to school and back. We need a world where all girls feel safe and confident to go to school, walk down a street, and follow their dreams without fear of intimidation, harassment, or retaliation. And this is possible. It can very easily be done if each of us decides to make it happen. So let's do it now.